Hello, fellow gardeners. Well, we had some people said they wanted to use the grow bag on top of this rectangular tote instead of the tote on top of it to make the bucket. So either way, it's the same situation. You can go back and watch the other video in the previous week about making this tote. No hole in the tote. We just set it there on the ground. We've used 3 of these little containers. We drilled 4 holes in the bottom one. Then we got 2 more of them we cut the bottom out of and set them in there to make it the right height. Like I said, you could use a 5-gallon bucket, but it's too tall. And let me show you what I'm talking about here. It's too tall, so you got to cut this one off about a 1/2 inch, which would be fine. We just chose to go ahead and use them since we already had them made. But you can use a 5-gallon bucket, drill your 4 holes in it, cut this off about a 1/2 inch. It'll be just the same height as this tote. Now, different totes are going to be different heights, so you just have to get your tote and see what kind of bucket you need to use in it. You can even use those nursery cans and keep stacking them up till they're tall enough and cut the bottom out, all of them except the bottom one, and drill holes. It's already got holes in it though. Okay, so we're going to use the 3 of those little 3-gallon buckets. I think they came from a bakery or something like that. We cut our hole just a little bit smaller than the diameter of the bucket so that this lid will set on these buckets. So we set this on here like into this. Let me get it right under our hole so it sets on it. Just like into that, right. There we go. And there it is in place. Now then, we've already filled that bucket. Now we're going to take our grow bag. Of course, I need to dip out some of this so I can turn them corners down in. I forgot about that. So I'm going to leave it a little bit down in there. Now, I've taken one of these grow bags from Smart Pot in Oklahoma City. You can order them directly from Smart Pot. Just Google up their name, Smart Pot in Oklahoma City, and they have these all different sizes. This happens to be a 20-gallon. It says right here, 20-gallon planter. This is made out of a fiber. This is the one that breathes, and I've always said one of these days we're going to be doing nothing but growing in these bags when you find out how much better they do than a plastic tub that can't breathe. These can. Of course, if you use a good loose mix, you know, they do all right growing, but this does an improvement. All right, so we've cut it an X in the bottom, big enough to get that right down in the middle there. And so we set it right there on the middle, turn those 4 corners down, and Tessie's going to help me now put this soil in this bag. Just scoop up some and fill that bag up, and I'll poke it down in that can best I can down in there now that we can. And remember now we're using potting mix, not potting soil. We're going to fill this up about halfway, and then you've got to stop and put your fertilizers in. And there's no law says you got to stop at halfway and put your fertilizer in. You can go ahead and fill it up and then stir it in the top. I will live with that because I do that the 2nd year anyway. I don't dig it back out. But anyway, we're just trying to get you growing and growing you some greens this winter. I don't know, they're saying food may get a little scarce this winter, and we'll see. And if they do, then we're ready to build y'all a greenhouse and let you grow your own food year-round. All right, we got it up about half full. We can put your fertilizers in. You know, you can call 580-564-2166, and one of the ladies will help you get you some fertilizer ordered if you need to order our fertilizer. If not, use what you desire to use. The main thing we're doing here is for a wicking. And so now then, we got it full enough to grow in. Give me one more scoop in there, Tracy, and it'll be fine. Thank you so much. See, now this grow bag will use a little bit less soil than your tote did. Of course, the totes are different size, so just according to what size you use. And there we have it, ready to grow. We've got our fertilizer in there middle ways. We've got this ready to put our plants in. You can put you some lettuce, put you about 6 or 7 lettuce around the outside and 1 in the middle. Put you that many spinach. Put you about 25 or 30 green onions or 25 or 30 radishes, seeds. Grow your kale. Somebody asked me this last week on a text I haven't answered yet, that can you grow crooked neck squash or straight neck squash in these? Either one. You can grow your tomatoes, your peppers, eggplants, flowers. The ladies can grow their flowers in this. And now then, how do you fill that full of water? Okay, you can either cut you a hole and put you a pipe in there, or you can just water on top of this and let it drain down in there till it fills that up, till it runs out the top. Just a number of different ways. The main thing, if you do not put you a fill pipe in there, like I did on the back 2 weeks ago, then if you look at it, we put a pipe right down through the middle of it that you can put a funnel in and pour it in like that. That's a good way to do it, especially if you're wanting to water every day or every other day. This is the way you put it in and water about once every 3 weeks. Fill this completely back full of water. And then you take off on vacation, or you can get in your truck and go across country hauling freight, or you can just forget about it if you live at home every night. Just forget about it for about a month and go back out there and fill it back up. I was filling out other 20-gallon tote grow bag, and this in here is a 65-gallon. Some of you folks that want a bigger growing container. Well, I'm going to show you the third one here now. You're going to take one of these feed minerals or one of your big totes or whatever you want to use. Now, and you're going to have a wick in the bottom, so we're going to use 5-gallon buckets because this is a bigger bucket. We're going to show you how to build a 65-gallon grow bed. And so what we're going to do, you're going to drill your holes in the bottom of this bucket and set it in there, but you see it needs another bucket or two on top of it, so we take another 5-gallon bucket, cut the bottom off, stick it in there, cut another one off and stick it in there till it gets up level with this. Now, you've got to have a platform to set this big 65-gallon grow bag on. So take your piece of plywood and cut it as big as around as the bottom of this 65-gallon grow bag is. Lay that on there, cut you a hole in the middle for your wick. You know, them buckets going to be set up here, and you're going to grow in that plywood. You're going to cut a hole big as this bucket right here. Then you're going to cut your X in this one, big enough to fit your 5-gallon bucket. Set your plywood on there. Set this on your plywood now, and you've got your X that you're going to cut. You're going to put it right down in there, and you're going to fill that full of potting mix down in that 5-gallon bucket till it gets up into your bag, and then you go ahead and fill your bag up just like you do any other bag. I just wanted to show you how some of you folks were wanting bigger areas to grow in. Well, here you are. Here's a 65-gallon grow bag from Smart Pot. And so if you like this video, come back and subscribe, punch the button, ring the bell. That helps us on our scholarship for the kids and our prize money we give for those that raise the biggest fruits and vegetables. And we'll make you another video.